What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and this one I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with the overall market so far, what you should be watching for as time progresses, and some very big levels we're seeing being tested on the charts thus far. But before I break into double this information, before I get into any more details, let me say that I am not a financial planner. Take nothing I say as financial advice, and then don't forget about the Moomoo link. The offer ends very soon. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks, but $1,000 and you're guaranteed 15. Anyways, for Tesla, we got this nice little pump that happened ever since we got this drop. I did mention to everyone that Tesla's going to rebound in the morning. That is what happened so far. And now Tesla's approaching the exact level we called out. I said it might get above 170. So watch 171 to 172 as resistance because we had these two key EMAs up here, our 20 and 50 EMA. And that's all Tesla's doing. This is going to be our big resistance. So if Tesla by next week gets a little rejection right here, we could be making our way back down to about 167.8. If we break past this, we could be pushing for 172 plus. As of right now, we're testing resistance, so we have to see what the reaction is. But Tesla's kind of shuffling right here above 170. It's showing some life, and it may attempt to try to fill this gap above next week for another push. But then we're going to be watching resistance after that. Now, I just want to note that on the overall trend of Tesla, this could be respecting a downtrend if we establish a lower high and come back down. But for now, Tesla is trying to push. It may even attempt to fill this gap next week as we have this imbalance. So I'm seeing some strength in this stock. I'm seeing some life in it. But make sure you watch this resistance right here. This is going to be a big test for it, at least for the time being. We're just going to worry about this right now. It's 171 to 172 area before we talk about other levels. Now, for SPY is in a very, very interesting place because this thing is, well, it has a lot of options. That's the first thing you have to remember. We have just over 1.2 million puts and just under 500,000 calls, 2.63 puts to call ratio. This is going up as more people start buying puts. And that's why they're just keeping the market choppy back and forth. Price action, a very, very tight range. They're doing this because they're trying to screw over as many people as possible who are holding options for today. So it's not very advantageous to hold 0 day to expiration options. But right now, SPY is at a critical level. So we have this potential channel that has developed where SPY is on a downtrend. If we broke past this channel, we actually held above that and got a clean break. There would be potential for this thing to go all the way up to the all-time high, if not higher, if we had gotten a big break. If we rejected off of this, we could have started to sink all the way down to 520 quite quickly. But that's not what's going on. We're just kind of shopping at this 522 area. Those market makers are just continuing to manipulate because of the options chain. We're not that far from max pain, if anything. And on top of that, they're just, they're just keeping things very choppy just to hurt as many people. So as of right now, we're kind of stuck here. We'll have to see during the last like 10 minutes, do we get a break or not? But we're still kind of stuck, so it might just remain very choppy around this 522 area, and then we'll see what happens later on. I do want to note that the QQQ is showing some life though, because it was range bound between 444 and 446, but recently it actually broke past 446 thanks to Nvidia. Now it's chopping around 446.6 right now. If we close above 446.8, there's going to be more upside potential for this next week, potentially even outperforming SPY. And if we close below 446, we could actually sink lower. As of right now, the chart is showing some life, so we'll just have to see how this performs. But I think it's just going to chop around the 446 area for now, and then we'll see next week what it does. I did call out Aapl. I said Aapl might try to rebound, guys, after this big drop in the morning. That's what's playing out exactly. Aapl got this nice double bottom like structure, trying to push up a bit. I told you to watch 172.5 as resistance. If we had broken this, we could get closer to about 173.25. We're only about 40 cents away from that, so it could push a little bit more. But overall, it's very, very choppy, not really fun to trade or anything like that. So I am seeing a little upside potential, but it's still very, very choppy. On top of this, I just want to call out we also have Nvidia. Nvidia, of all things, is also showing some life. So we got this breakout thanks to bullish news. We managed to bounce off our support at this 908 area. Upon getting this bounce, we retested this 945 zone. Now we're coming back down, kind of shopping around our 5 EMA. So now I think this is going to be range bound just for some time, not really do a whole lot. It could come down a little bit and come back up. But I think Nvidia is holding up relatively well, showing some strength, and there is more upside potential for next week if we manage to close above. Even just 930 is going to be a good close. Anything above 930 should be fine for Nvidia. So it's doing very well. As long as we don't have too much bad news next week, there is more potential for it to go higher. Besides that, I think that's it for the main five. Tesla is now just testing its resistance, so we'll see if we get some kind of rejection or not. We are forming a potential bullish wedge too, so it could give Tesla more upside potential for next week, as long as we don't get bad news, of course. For a few more, we also have Amazon showing some life. We're chopping around 179. If we do break this, 180 becomes a possibility, but we're still kind of stuck at 179, chopping a lot. We have support at 178.8, 178.5, and if we lose that, then we're going to be sinking back down to the 50 EMA. Otherwise, Amazon is just shuffling. Same thing with Meta, still range bound, testing 508. If we bounce off this, we could push higher up to 510 plus. If we lose this, 505 could come. Otherwise, we're just kind of range bound. Not much is going on with this. Same thing with Microsoft, just very, very range bound. So I'm not seeing much in the markets for now. The bigger thing is going to be how Tesla reacts to its resistance. Do we just chop around for now, or can we try to break it? The most likely possibility is just continue to chop. Same thing with SPY, but I'll be watching to see, do we make a big move from this channel? Do we get a big rejection? Do we get a bounce, or do we just continue to chop? I'll be watching for this. We do have an interesting looking pattern. I'm going to be patient and give the market the time it needs. With that being said, the media is still talking about the slowdown in production for Tesla, and there have been other things coming out, but I'm not going to focus too much on the news for now. We'll just end it from here, and then we'll see how things go. So thank you for listening. Have a great day, and peace out.